Welcome everybody to our review. Today we review The Richest Man in Babylon, written by George Clason. So the author originally was writing the lifestyle of the ancient citizen of Babylon City. He was writing in like pamphlets, they call the parables. So at the end they decided that those series of the lifestyle stories of the lifestyle of different individuals of the ancient Babylon should come up as a volume, one volume. That's when it comes to this one, Richest Man in Babylon. The richest man in Babylon in this book is called Akkad. From the very first chapters, Akkad was visited by his two old friends. The two old friends wanted to know the ways that made him to become the richest man in the entire Babylon. So he told them that the first thing everyone should have is a desire. You have to have the desire to acquire that wealth, and then all the golden streams to fill your powers will come up. And another interesting story from the book was from the king Sargon of the Babylon city, who summoned the richest man in Babylon to teach his men and women on the ways that would make them acquire enough wealth for them. So he came up with 7 cures to win powers. The first one, he said, you should start to fatten your purse. Over here he said that to start fattening your purse is like you should start paying yourself first. It's a very powerful thing. In most practice that most of the people are doing is when they receive their salary or receive their income or the profit, they pay every expenses first, and then they see what remains that they can save. But Akkad is saying that you should first pay yourself first, either or by deciding what percentage of your income you want to save, be it 5, 10, but in the book they're talking of 10. So it depends on your capacity. You can make 5, 10, 15, or 20. The second one is said control your expenditure. If you have already decided that you want to save 10% and you stick by it, then you make sure that the all other expenses should not exceed 90% of your income, so that you may have that 10% to save. The third one is said make your gold multiply. Over here said that your savings, the saving that you do, are like your slaves. If they're slaves, then they are working for you, they are earning for you. By working for you, what they earn is their child, and that child is like a slave to it as well. It's also working. So the child itself is earning. You're saving as a slave, it's earning. So the two are multiplying, and the series continues. So by the end, you can acquire all the abundance that you crave. The fourth one, he said you should guard your treasure from loss. How do you guard your treasure from loss? By learning from the wise people. Also, if say you are lending money to someone, you have to make sure you know their ability to repay, and also or their reputation, if they have the tendency of repaying their debts, or else you end up losing your treasurable savings. The fifth one, he said make your dwelling a profitable investment. That you should own your own. own your own home. So that when you own your own home, uh, the money, the expenses that you were supposed to pay rent should cover up other expenses, the leisure, like fancy cars, like what other buying some beautiful clothes and all that, sometimes you can put yourself out of it for, in order to save. Yeah, the sixth one, he said, ensure your future income. This is very common. We know that in this world we are here, we won't have the same energy we have now up until when we reach our up to our 70s. So you have to ensure your future income later will come to pay you back when you don't have enough energy to work until you go to the heavens. And the seventh, he said that invest in yourself, learn your ability, increase your ability to learn, to earn. Sorry. Here it means that you should always acquire knowledge to continue earning. Anything that you want to indulge yourself into, you should learn. There is a very powerful dialect. He said that ambition without practice is not trusted, can't be trusted. They said the merchants must learn their trade. There is one phase of the book where Akkad, from his very days when he was starting investing, he trusted his saving to a brick maker to go for a jewelry business. The brick maker went to a far country and he was scammed. On his return, he had nothing. So the very first savings of the richest man in the world went away like that. Yeah. Also, from the book, there is one interesting part of a camel trader who teaches the budgeting of repaying debts. Yeah, this man was clumsy in spending. He spent to a point where he had to return his wife to his in-laws, and he fled away. So on his return, he came up with a 10-70-20 formula. In this one, he said, when you on your earning, 10% go to your savings, 70% goes to your expenses, and 20% goes to your debtors. So you make sure, do whatever you do, make a clear schedule on how to repay your debts. He did, and in a very nice way, he was articulated here. And the last one in the book, the great takeaway that I had was about the luckiest man in Babylon. Luckiest man in Babylon. Talking of luck, in our life, we know many wealthy people, but none, to my understanding, none came up with out of winning a $100 million lotto or gambling stuff. Those all the stories that we are hearing are those people were working their socks off. So in the book they are narrating, even the people of Babylon were having this dialogue about if there is any dead luck who visits the wealthy people, and in all the encounters, they came to realize that when you work hard is when you attract the goddess of good luck. Yeah, so those are my undertaking. This book I recommend it to anybody who wishes to learn how to self-improve, how to learn the techniques of becoming wealth, of how to budget yourself, how to save. Yeah, the stories are very well articulated, very well narrated. You never get tired of this book, and this is one of the books that when you start reading it, you'll be like, where was this book all my life? A lot of aha moments in the book. So go and grab your copy. Namaste.